Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome. Hello, hello. Welcome to my studio. Angelica Turner here with Elizabeth Craft Designs, and welcome to my live today. Hi, Lori. How are you doing? Rebecca, hello. Anki, Marga, hello. How's everyone doing this fine Wednesday? Well, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. I am going to be working today on a some florals. Wanted to play around with giving the florals different shapes. Doing a classic floral with all the dimension, and then something different with uh, like a flat floral or a different shape. So today, let me switch my camera here. Hi, Sylvia, Terry, how are you doing? So let me switch here. For some reason, I keep losing my connection to my, uh, there we go. Let me switch. Okay, there we go. Now we have just a view of the table. Valerie, hello, Valerie, Katie, uh, welcome, welcome. So I have here, as you can see, I already prepped some stuff, did some coloring and a little bit of shaping. Wanted to make sure I got several different samples going on, or want to be able to get several of them done for you, hopefully within the live. So I have here, I'm going to start off with the 2215 Tulip. And for the piece that I'm making, I'm going to place the florals on this decorative frame from the 2101 Frames and Elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do several different like clusters, floral clusters or pieces with decorative dies, and then the florals, and then use those later on cards or tags or different projects. So that way I'll have them ready, and then I can just finish off the card with this particular um, floral cluster. Hi, Valerie. Yes, make sure to like, comment, and share to for a chance to win a $50 gift certificate from Elizabeth Craft Designs. So make sure you guys do that. Hey, Annette, how you doing? Talking about Annette, has everybody seen her Sunny Days collection that just hit the stores Monday? It is gorgeous. I absolutely love the bright, happy colors that she has in this collection. And all the images, the dies and stamps are absolutely gorgeous, as always, Annette. You hit it out of the park on this one again. Um, so let's see what we have here. So I already have um, some tulips right here already shaped and colored. And I have as well some leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and color these ones so you can see how I colored them. And for these ones, I am using the squeeze lemonade distressing and spice marmalade for the tulips. And then for the leaves, I'm going to use the bundle sage as the base color. And this one, which is color clover, this is from a different brand, Color Fuse ink. So let me grab some blender brushes here. Hi, Teresa. So I'm going to start by coloring the back side of my tulip. I want to make sure, because when you shape them, you'll see the inside and then some of the back of the tulip. So I want to make sure I have color on both sides so you don't see the white star color of the cardstock. And then I'm going to go ahead and color the front, and I'm just doing a solid color on the sub-finished cardstock. I'm just doing a solid color over the yellow right now. Okay, so that is the yellow. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Anita. Hi, Anita. Okay, so now I'm going to do the spice marmalade. So I'm just making sure that I tap it on the inking pad so I don't use a lot of too much ink. So I have a smooth blend. And I'm placing it on the center, hitting most of the center, and then just kind of blending it into the yellow like that. And of course, doesn't matter if you do have more color on one petal, less color on the other one. It is a flower, so the petals don't have to be uh, exactly the same on each one. And I'm going to do a little bit of that orange on the inside. I'm not being too uh, perfect on this one because this is going to close on it, so you won't see a lot of that. Hi, Susanna. Same thing with the other one. I'm kind of angling the brush, so this is what is hitting the flower, just kind of the tip. Again, because I want the darker color in towards the center, and then the lighter color towards the tip of the petal. Again, I like using the blending brushes. You can use pretty much whatever you prefer for blending your colors. That is up to you. You can use smaller brushes too. So that is my coloring right there. Hi, Anne. Deborah, hello. Yes, please like, comment, and share for a chance to win your $50 gift certificate. Okay, so now for the leaves, let me grab a kind of a green one here on the lighter side, and I'm just going to blend up the lighter green, the bundle sage, all over the leaf. Hey, Andrea, Catherine. Thank you, Deborah. Uh, I don't know about you, but I do find myself a lot on Instagram or YouTube watching tutorials of artists doing paintings and coloring. I just find it very relaxing to just watch them go through their process of creating a painting, painting a scenery, whatever they're painting. It can be florals, it can be sceneries, it can be seascapes, landscapes, still life, whatever. It just cartoons. It doesn't matter. It's just watching an artist do a painting and talk about their passion for their art. I just find it extremely just relaxing and inspiring. So thank you for joining me today and watching me do some coloring here. I'm just going to wipe this down and get it out of the way so we can do some, put it over here, shaping on these florals. And let me get my shaping tools. I didn't have them ready. And I'm going to, for this particular flowers, I want the paper a little bit more bendable, softer. So I am going to spritz them a little bit. Oh, I didn't add some orange to the back of this one. So let me do this one real quick. Totally forgot that. Hi, Rose from Maine. How are you doing? How's the weather over there? And for everyone here, I don't know if you guys follow all the posts on the Elizabeth Craft Designs family page, but if you do, you have seen all the gorgeous projects from our design team. Absolutely stunning. So what I'm going to do is I place my florals on old towel, something that you don't mind getting all inked up and wet. And I'm going to just kind of spritz them a couple of times. And then I'm going to place them. So I spritz the back side of the floral, and depending on what ink you use, for this one I use the distress ink, so you'll see a little bit of the um, drops, right? Which they're on the back. You really won't see them once you shape it, so I don't mind it. It's okay if it does that, but if you're creating a floral or something that you don't want that to happen, then you want to be able to use something, a different kind of ink, not something that reacts with the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this tip right here, which is kind of a medium towards the larger side, and I'm going to soften my cardstock on my tulip, and this is all on the back side of the tulip. Okay, as you can see, and I'm putting a fairly good amount of pressure on them right now. I'm just doing it again with a larger tip, and I'm putting a lot of pressure just to get that kind of a curled edge. Okay, and then I'm going to switch over to a smaller tip, and I'm going to give this a bit more on the center and then on the either side of that. So one in the center and then one on either side. So you end up with something like that. Hi, Tamara from Blizzardy, Nebraska. Oh, well, that doesn't sound fun. Blizzard time, huh? So here, I'm going to do the same thing with the second floral. Just kind of running this tip down the center, because you end up with that kind of a line you can see on the outside, and then ones on either side. I want to create that kind of a roughly finish and get the paper to curl nicely. Okay, so here now I'm going to go into the inside with that same tip, and see how I'm getting the petals to just kind of curl into each other. So here are my florals. I'm going to place them off to the side for a little bit so they can dry a little bit before I put the glue. And then on my leaves, I am going to, hi Rose, thank you. Beautiful today. Oh, yes. uh, right here in California, yes, we are having we had some rain a few days ago. Much needed. I don't mind it at all. We do need a lot of, we do need that rain, but today is very nice and sunny, nice weather. I actually am not sure what the how warm it is out there. I haven't checked the actual numbers today, but it's nice and sunny. Um, so as you can see, these leaves for the tulips have a nice embossed line down the center. So I'm just adding a little bit of shaping on the back side, and then I use that line to just kind of pinch the tip a little bit like that. And I did the same thing with this one. So, and then all the glue is going to be placed on the bottom part right here. So I usually just kind of hit it a little bit on the front, and then you have your leaves. As you can see, I already have a bunch of them colored, and then I also have the stems for those florals. Let me get the map out of the way real quick. So let's see how these ones are doing. And this is what the base for my floral cluster. Hi, Astrid. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting. Hello, Jolene from Idaho. So the paper is from the Evening Rose paper collection. So I'm picking the yellow from the background. You can see the little butterflies, and then I cut the decorative frame from a lighter shade within the paper too. So both pieces are cut from the paper collection. I did use a little bit of the shipped sapphire to ink the edges on this one. Just get rid and get rid of the white core on that. And then I have my decorative frame. Let's get this out of the way. Let me see how's my comments. Hi, Karen. Thank you. So let's see. Dana from Florida. Hello, welcome. So I'm just going to do some glue all down the edge right here of my frame. And I'm going to put just a little bit here and there just to make sure I secure the outside edge of it as well, so it doesn't lift. Of course, we'll have the florals on top of it, so that'll secure it as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and align it to my frame. And you have a very pretty little decorative piece as the base for your florals. Now for my for these two, I'm going to kind of dry them real quick. Make sure they're completely dry, because if if the paper's a little moist, then you won't be, the glue doesn't dry as quickly. Okay. Hope you were able to hear me with the heat going on. Hey, Mary from California, how are you doing? Okay, so nice and dry. So now, okay, one of these is going to be the inside. So you want two pieces. I'm just going to place some glue on the edge right here on each, on the inside of each petal that is going to be, there we go. And I'm just going to grab my tweezers and kind of hold it, press it a little bit. So, and you can use, of course, your favorite glue with this. Uh, you can use liquid glue. You can use your glue gun for this. I usually, especially doing a live, sometimes if I try to use the the glue gun, And oh, I would totally place that thing in the wrong place and then end up with something completely deformed. So it makes me nervous. So I kind of go instead use the liquid glue because it's easier for me to maneuver and move things around. And then here's the second layer. I just make sure I kind of offset my petals, which see what I mean about things not setting the right way. It didn't, the petals didn't set the right way. So I just kind of hold it a little bit. And I think, and that's your tulip right there. 2 layers. Okay. And maybe a little bit of more glue in here on the ridge of the high ridge of this or each side so that petal glues nicely. Hi Teresa, thank you. Okay, so now that we have those, I'm going to look at the arrangement here like that, and then we have our stem here. Now these ones, I always like to kind of, let me see where they're going to sit. Each one is going to sit, and I'll probably trim them a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the tallest one is going to be all the way to the edge. So what I usually do for these is I like to kind of bend it over like that and then put glue on that whole piece. And that section where it's bent, I kind of center it at the base of the tulip, and then the rest just kind of glues towards the back. So they look like that. So you'll have it on the back, and that will be glued on on your project. And then with this one, I will be doing it a little bit lower. Same thing, I'm just going to put glue on that whole piece and then glue it there, and then the rest just glued to the back of the floral, of your flower. Like that. So we have different levels, and then this one, I want it a little bit lower. So about right here, I'm going to do the same thing, fold it over, and this one's a little bit too long on the back, so just trim it off, glue on that piece, again the folded piece on the bottom, and then the rest on the back, so it looks like that. Thank you, Pam. Hi, Kelly. Thank you. And tulips, you know, they look difficult, but they're so easy to make. They add a lot of dimension to your project. So there's my tulip, and then my different leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue each one of these florals down first to have them in place. Like that, since they are the focal point of this piece of the arrangement. I like to put my florals down and then build around them. And as you can see, I'm placing glue on the tip of the stem, and I'm placing glue on the back of the tulip itself. So when I place it down, the flower itself is also glued to the paper. So they're nice and sturdy like that. Now we can build our arrangement with our leaves here. Going to try to build some in the back. I'm just putting some glue on the base of each leaf, pressing them in there. There's another one. And just kind of layer them behind some of the flowers. On top of the flowers, just try to give it, I'm trying to give it that dimension, you know, leaves in front, behind of each floral, to make it look more of a realistic arrangement. Um, thank you, Annette. So here is this one. I think that's going to be a good placement for that. And I can't believe how fast time is running out. I have a total of 4 of these little clusters. So hopefully the other ones will go faster and we will be able to get through all of them within the hour. Let's see. And this one right here. No, I think I want this one back here. Give it a little bit of more dimension behind the this tulip. And see if this one fits. No, that one doesn't fit. It's a little bit too big. So I think this is a good arrangement right there. So after I get all of these done later on, I can take these, put a little stamp sentiment, little label here, happy birthday, you know, spring greetings, something like that, and then place this on a card. So here is our first piece. I'm going to move that off to the side and then bring in the next one. Let me get my next little basket here. Here we go. Sorry, I am trying to get the other one here. Okay, so this one, this is going to be a different variation of the tulip. Same flower. I actually ended up also using it, uh, doing it in the same color, but I'm not going to shape it, give it all the dimension as like the tulip. So here I have all of my little pieces already colored. Now this particular ones, I cut them out of texture cardstock, just basil texture cardstock. You can use your favorite color cardstock. I cut everything out of light yellow, And then the leaves, I cut them out of a kind of a light um, green. So that's the color. I have again a decorative piece here. That one is part of the 2219 decorative old oval frame. So I just did the centerpiece right here. And I cut the solid out of blue pattern paper, same collection, the evening rose, and then another piece of one of the light pattern paper sheets from that same collection for the decorative piece. So this one, I am going to also add a little bit of that uh, orange color, the spice marmalade. Get those out of the way. And I'm going to just add, because we already have the base of the cardstock, I'm just going to add a little bit on the center. Ah, yeah, it's just the colors of the paper work really well with the colors of the tulips on that particular little arrangement. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of color here, just to give it a little bit of dimension to the centers of these ones, these tulips. Okay, and then the leaves, I already colored them all. For the leaves, I used the pine needles, a little bit of the pine needles, and then just added the color on the base and faded it into the top. So you have the pale color or the light color of the green of the cardstock, and then you're coloring down here. Let me get this out of the way, and then we can shape these flowers. So for this ones, I am going to do a very, very basic. So I'm just no shaping on the back. I'm just going to do the shaping on the front, and not a lot, just enough to raise the petals a little bit. So this is more something where you don't want to have to use like a dimensional box if you have to mail it, or a padded envelope or something that is going to cost you a lot more in shipping. This is a very nice, a very good technique to add some dimension to your florals, but you can easily put it in an flat envelope, and you won't have to pay that much more postage on it. Same thing, I'm just taking my stylus and I'm using one of the larger sizes from the tip of the floral to the center, and that makes your petal curl inwards a lot faster. And I'm going to do that same technique to all of them. I'm using about 3 different sizes here: medium, small, and the extra small. And I'm just doing the same technique. Very simple, very easy. It adds some dimension to your floral, but you don't have, you want, if you don't want to have that ton of dimension on it, this is an easy way to do it. And then on my leaves, let just a little bit on the back, so they're not completely flat. And then that. Hey, Betty. Okay, so just a little bit on these to, so they're not completely flat on my project. Okay, the way. Okay, so let's see how we are going to do this one. So I got my solid paper. Again, I ink the edges with distressing to get rid of the white core. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this piece down. Again, this is just going to make a decorative floral cluster that I can later just kind of put on projects. This is a fun thing to do if you know hanging out with your husband, catching up on some TV or something, and you pre-cut or you have time to just sit there and cut and color and create florals without having to create a complete project. This is a fun thing to do uh, while you're, just hanging out. And so here is my piece. And these ones are lifting a little bit, so a little bit of glue behind those. Okay. Now these florals, so I'm going to place two of the same size, a little bit of glue in the center, and then I'm just going to offset my petals like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with all the others. And then just offset them. Same thing with the little ones. Looks like my there we go. Was trying to get to the comments, but they kind of disappeared on me, so just trying to get back to that. Hello, Angelique. Okay, and then the next one, same thing, a little bit of glue in the center, and then just layer them together. And that touch of coloring just adds a little bit of more dimension to your floral. Going this way. And I have three, that's fine. We'll do, just going to put this ones. These ones, they don't really have to be glued in a particular to the floral itself, because the flowers are just going to kind of sit right here. Just trying to figure out how I want to arrange them. Hello, Linda. Yes, yes. Better late than not at all. That's exactly. Yep. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just kind of glue again the bottom right now, just the bottom of my stem here. And place those, and then build the flower arrangement on top of that. Actually, should have been this side and then this side. There we go. Okay, and then we have our leaves. And our florals. Okay, so I think that will work, hopefully. And you can place a little bit of glue behind the stems right here. and then my floor. Same thing over here. And then this floor, a little bit of glue in the center. Like that. And then on this one, just press the center. Oh, thank you, Louise. Thank you very much. Okay, and then another one right here. Just kind of tuck it in. Make the, okay. Now we have our little leaves. Just to kind of fill in the arrangement. See how it comes together. And of course, this one didn't require so much shaping and coloring, so you have an arrangement that comes together much, much faster just by cutting the pieces from color cardstock instead of white cardstock and doing less coloring and then less shaping, since this is just very, very basic shaping. I'm going to tuck this one back here. And this is why I always kind of try just to place my glue on my leaves at the bottom, at the base of the leaf, because then I have the rest of the piece loose where I can go in and add or tuck in little pieces or other little leaves if I see that it needs something else in the background. Okay, and then I am going to add some little rhinestones to the centers, just a little bit of sparkle to give it a finishing touch to these florals. And as you can see, you have a little bit of dimension. You have a little bit of coloring. And that is the flower number 2 with the same tulip flower, just shaped completely different. And you have 2 different little arrangements with the same flower. Oh, I have one little leaf left. Let's tuck this one somewhere here. You can leave that one just hanging around by itself, right? I'm just going to put it right here behind this. There we go. So that is number 2 with the tulip. And then the next one I have, I believe, yes, next one is, I have this one. Now these ones are the cornflowers. I had done another project with a cornflower in the classic blue. This time I decided to go a completely different color, and I did it in this kind of a pink and kind of a purple color. So here are my decorative pieces. These ones are from, let me see, Where is my decorative die? There it is. Sorry about that. So that one comes from the 2185 Atom Fancy Frame. So I did the center solid and the decorative solid out of the same evening rose paper. I just switched the colors, did the light color on the back and the darker color on the decorative piece. The flower is the 2216 cornflower. And some of the leaves, I have some of the uh, leafy branches here for that from the 2217 floral greenery tree. So I did this one right here. So now this one's I colored everything with some distress oxide. I did some Moldland, peel paint for the base, touch of the twisted citron for a brighter color. And then for the flowers, my base color is worn lipstick and seedless preserves for the centers and then the center shading right there. So I am going to kind of move these colored ones out of the way and shaped. I have some here. The little ones are already colored. So I have these ones right here that I already did the base um, with the worn lipstick. And I am going to go ahead and do the centers. So I'm going to use a smaller brush for this one, a smaller blending brush. Hi, Sylvia. There's a troll. Oh no. Again? Whoa. They just don't take a break, do they? um, so I'm just grabbing some of the ink and just putting it on my mat here because I don't want just a big blob of ink on it. I want to be able to shade it and blend it into the base color from the center to the kind of halfway up the each petal. So as you can see, I have my darker color in the center, and then that purplish color kind of blends halfway up the petal, and then you have your lighter color, your darker, and then here your blend. So that's for my, and then same thing, I'm just kind of putting the ink on the mat and then just kind of slowly uh, pulling it from the center halfway out into each petal. And this way, putting kind of tapping my brush on the mat gives me more control of how much ink I have on my brush, especially because these pads are very, very juicy right now, and they have, so the brush is picking up a lot of extra ink that will otherwise leave a big giant just blob of color on my project. So there's the coloring. I did color my centers all in the same color, and I did do a little bit of blending. So you have the tips lighter, the centers darker, and I colored both front and back of those. For the very tiny, this is the smallest one of the, there we go, the smallest flower of this set. I did the same thing. I colored them in pink and then just added a touch of the purple color in the center. So there is the coloring for the florals. Now let's go ahead and do the shaping. I am shaping this one's a little bit different than the um, basic, than the shaping I had done on the classic cornflower. So this one's I am doing all the shaping on the back of the flower. So I'm not going to spritz this one just because it is a more delicate flower. And so I'm just going to pull it in from the tip towards the center with a larger, and then we'll come back in with a smaller tip and just kind of give it a little bit more down the center right here. Again, from the tip to the center, and then on the front, I'm just going to do the center, and then I'm just taking the stylus from each petal down to the center, and that does the shaping. And let's do the other one. Oh, thank you so much, Anna. I love color. I just it is just I love working with lots of color, different shades, different combinations. I just um don't get tired of it. If I buy a color of something or an ink pad, it's one of those things where I have to have the whole set. I can't just go, oh, I'll get a couple of colors. It's just impossible for me to do that. Okay, so again, I'm just going on the front of this flower now and pulling each petal to the center. And there is that. And then for the centers, the stamen right here, I'm just pulling from the center of each, or from the tip of each one, and then pulling it into the center. So you end up with something like that. And then you can also take your fingertips and kind of crumple it up a little bit so they get all together. And then the little flowers, kind of did a little bit. These ones don't require a lot, so I'm just going on the back side a little bit on each petal from the tip to the center, and then turn them over and use one of the smaller tips and just kind of press in the center like that. And again, you can use your fingertips a little bit to kind of press them. And there's the flower. So that's our flowers. Now let's see how we're going to do this arrangement. I have a lot of little leaves here for this one. Now the leaves, I did already color them all. So I started with the base of the Twisted Citron, and then I added a little bit of peel paint and Molan, just kind of mix the colors in there. Same thing with this one right here. And then the edges, I touched a little bit of the pink color around the edges on this one. How are we doing in time? It is flying by really quick. Oh, shoot. I might be able to finish all of them. Hopefully. Might go over a little bit. But I want to be able to finish all 4 of them for you. Okay, so a little bit of glue on this, and then the base, I did ink the edges again with some of the blue ink to get rid of the white core, and same thing with the edge on this blue decorative piece. I did go ahead and ink the edges just to get rid of the white core on the paper. Somebody's asking about the mat, but I think I lost the uh, the question. So yeah, what I what I usually do to color, it's these. They're Tim Holtz. They're the have the sticky backing on them. They come with. They originally came with my glass mat, and you can buy them separate. They're really good for like when you're bringing the color off the edge of that mat into the edge of your paper. Those work really well, and I usually is what I grab to do all my coloring and put ink on it and pick it from there instead of picking it straight out of the ink pad, especially when the ink pads are fresh and there's a lot of ink in them. That's how I usually just kind of tap it on that, because the color will set on that mat and not get absorbed. So let's see. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the center and then place my flower. And I'm just making sure I offset my petals so you have uh, something that looks like that. Okay, and then let's see what I have here. So, okay, then same thing with the smaller flower. I'm just a little bit of glue in the center and then offset my petals. Okay, and then we have the 3 layers. So I did 3 layers of the uh, flower centers here. What I'm going to do is I'm also, when I layer them, I'm going to try to, oop, this is the wrong, this one goes actually, this is the base, because it's a little slightly larger than this one. Then we got this one. And as you can see, I'm trying to also offset the petals on this ones. Wrong one and right again. So it's these two are the biggest ones. Again, offset them. And then I'm just going to grab my tweezers, press in the center like that, and then glue on the back. And then that. And then of course after that, if you want to put a little bit of glitter or, to add a little bit of sparkle to that. And then the next flower, same thing. I'm taking the larger stem center, then a smaller piece, trying to offset them. And then another one, same thing. Just kind of put it in the center and trying to offset it. It's a little bit harder with something this small, but oh, thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, I love how these colors came together. Then in the center of this one, and just kind of open them up a little bit. And when I'm shaping things, I always like to kind of overshape them, give them extra dimension, because by the time I'm done handling them, gluing everything down, um, they, the paper relaxes, loses a little bit of that dimension. And that way, if I have them overshaped with extra dimension, they won't end up completely flat on my project by the time I'm done. So here's the tiny little ones. Again, just a little bit of glue in the center, and then offset your petals. And this makes uh, will make your flower look more, make it look fuller. Okay, so looks like I have one single one here. Okay. Uh, oh, sorry about that. If you can hear my pup in the background, He is trying to scare somebody away. Where did my Katie, do you always use, oh, I'm not sure what the question is, Katie. Um, okay, so I'm going to have large flower, this one, and I think these ones I am going to cut them apart and tuck them in a different way. So I'm just going to glue this down right now and glue that top one as well. Then my florals, and then the little ones are going to kind of just go here and there. And then the leaves, and then these ones will go in the back to kind of fill in the background. Okay, so I'm just going to use my tweezers to press this down. Oh, it's not glued all the way down. Okay. Oh, shoot. Running out of time very quickly. I already run out of time. Hopefully you guys don't mind hanging out around a little bit. See if I can get the second one of the cornflower arrangement done. There's some leaf arrangement right here. Just kind of tuck them behind this. And I'm going to put this one down here as well. Like that. Okay, then we have three little flowers as well, and I'm going to place those once I put all the leaves here and kind of fill in a little bit of this. Hopefully I won't get disconnected here because I'm going over the hour. Sorry about my pup barking a lot. Someone's knocking at the door. So he is not happy. He's not having it. So I'll be like, sorry, I can't come to the door right now, whoever it is. We're not going anywhere. Thank you, Robin. I have one more. It's easier, so hopefully uh we'll be able to get it done here. Oh my goodness. He is not happy. Do one more. Okay, and then the little ones, I'm just going to kind of tuck them around the larger ones just to give it a little bit, just you know, give it the different size. There we go. And then one. I'm just going to put this one here. Okay, so that is piece number 3, or the first one with the cornflower. And again, completely different colors, a little bit of different shaping on this one. And here is that one. So let me get all of these pieces out of the way and put the last one. So for this one, I am using cornflower again. Paper is again from the Evening Rose pattern paper here. Ink the edges with a little bit of green and then a lighter color for the decorative piece. That one is part of the, let me see where it is. Oh, there it goes. This is the decorative base for the 2221 decorative dimensional basket. So it's this piece right here, which is the base of basket. So I just cut that in the decorative piece. I have my cornflowers cut out of yellow cardstock. And I did, actually, these ones are already all colored, and I did the coloring in the center with a Spice Marmalade Distress ink. So I just did a little bit of shading with the brush like I did on the tulips. And then I have different little leafy branches from the, here it is, from the 2217 Floral Greenery Tree. I cut all of these out of different shades of pattern paper, or not pattern paper, sorry, but cardstock. So I got a dark, light, a medium, and then the flowers out of yellow and this orange color. Now this one, I am not going to do any shaping whatsoever. I'm just going to layer them completely flat. I think I might just put a very thin foam dot behind a couple of the layers to give it a little bit of dimension, but I'm not going to do any shaping on these. They're just cut out of color cardstock, and I wanted to see how they would turn out, especially when it comes to mailing cards. You know, you put a lot of dimension, then you have to get a padded envelope or a small box and shipping. I mean, that's how I mail most of my projects in little boxes, because they always end up with a lot of dimension. My florals always end up with a lot of dimension and a lot of layers. So yeah, it's impossible to mail them out in a flat envelope. But, you know, sometimes we do want to make something with no dimension. So I wanted to kind of play with these florals and see how they look without giving them all that dimension. Just doing layers of different sizes. Okay, so here is my little decorative piece. Everything on this piece is pattern paper. So pattern paper for the base, and then pattern paper for the decorative one here. And then I think what I'm going to do with this ones is I'm going to put glue in the center of these two, layer them offset, and then I am going to do a small foam dot in the center And I'm going to put extra glue here just to make sure. And then I'm going to glue the next layer on that foam that, and then the next one flat. So there is a little bit of dimension between the first one, the two large layers, and then the two smaller layers. Okay, and then all of these right here, I think I'm going to just do them single layer. And let's see how we're going to work this arrangement. I'm going to cut this one here. And then I'm going to kind of cut these branches as well. See how they look. Again, if you can hear my dog constantly barking in the background, sorry about that. he is he is not having it. Whatever is going out there, he is not happy with it. Okay, and then this one I'm going to cut it into the little branches. Um, okay, just going to cut these so I can tuck them around the rest of the floral. Okay, so I think this is going to be my base. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm hurrying, I'm sorry, I'm going over the time. It seemed like I had barely enough to go for the hour, and the time just goes by so fast. And then you find out that, oh, it was a lot more than I thought. Okay, so that, and then I'm just going to tuck in over here. Thank you, Karen. Oh, yeah, he's not having, he can hear and the delivery trucks coming down the street. So if there's a delivery truck coming down the block, he hears it. Amazon trucks, FedEx, UPS, mailman. He just does not like any of them. So he always um, is, he hears them down the block, and I'm like, there's nothing out there, but it's the truck coming down the street. I'm going to place another foam dot here, and I'm going to do some glue on it so I can shift it a little bit like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do these branches right here. Just kind of tuck them behind, and they're a little bit darker, so just a color contrast between the leaves, the other two branch leaves, and the the yellow of the flower, and then the other greens. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging around with me. Again, sorry about it taking longer, so much longer. Oops. Okay, now I'm just going to pop some of these or put some of these in here. Some of the little ones. Just to give it a little bit more of a pop of color. And I think I'm just going to leave these ones kind of single layer like that. They look more like a little wildflower, just because the large flower has so many layers. I just wanted these small ones a little bit simpler. I think one more. I'm just going to put it over here on this side. Okay, so here is the second floral cluster, decorative floral cluster with the cornflower. So you got this one, dimensional, and then this one a little bit flatter. So let me bring the others in, and then probably later on might put something in the center of this one just to give it more of a finished look. Actually, I had these ones. I'll put one of these in the center, so it's not so naked. And there you go. All complete. Let me switch my screen right here. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me. I'm sorry it ran a little bit longer, but they turned out great. I love how they turned out. And then I can just grab these and put them on cards later, put a little sentiment on them, maybe some ribbon, and they're out the door to a new owner or someone celebrating a special day. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Hope you guys enjoyed my little makes and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.